tango fiele aso muai mua sauni mai lau pati male po tupulanga Samoa mai afia ava Samoa ile atua lo fasi no mangalena Samoa elo ua tu upele pele pe ilo uanganga tupulanga Samoa.
Valu minute o te eile tū la e lima, 8 minutes after 5 here on the 685 show PMN Samoa, 5:31 PI, bringing Pacific people together. We are very honored this afternoon for our Hamo Chats segment today to have a very special guest joining us in studio. Le sunga ya Marques Tominiko, who is a 15-year-old student from Salle College, who last night at a ceremony at the Mangere Arts Centre was chosen as the Mangere Youth MP for 2025. So joining us in studio to share a bit about his journey, his aspirations, and what he hopes to achieve in this role is the one and only Marques Tominiko. Welcome to the show, Uso.
Thank you for having me.
Look, I know you're very busy with school and as well as extracurricular commitments, so we really appreciate you making the time to join us in studio this afternoon. Before we get into the business, as we do with all our guests, I'd like to give you the opportunity to atu lewa noa. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Marques Tominiko? Where are you from? Who do you represent? What villages? And all of that good stuff. Malengang whanau.
Talo Flower, my name is Marques Tominiko. I'm 15 years old and I currently attend the greatest school in all of Auckland, Salle College. In Samoa, on my father's side, I hail from the villages of Aso Tofi and Aso. And on my mother's side, I hail from the villages of Salle, Sinamonga, Sapali, and Moa. And here in New Zealand, I hail from the wonderful 275 of Mangere.
Let's go.
And also, shout out to the 274 Oitara, one of my other hoods. So yeah, that's me. That's pretty much. Yeah.
Thank you also. Shout out to the Valokasi crew tuning in this afternoon. Thank you again also for the wonderful intro. Tell us, what inspired you to step into a leadership role at such a young age? With you being le Maulitofinga or le Mangere Youth MP for 2025. What inspired you to move into that space?
Well, I've always been interested in politics for a long time now, and it all stems from my grandfather. The grandfather here on my badge. We would talk long into the night about political issues here in New Zealand and Samoa, and it was from those conversations that my interest in politics began. And also just the example that he set as a Samoan Matai and my father as well, and just the leadership that I saw in my everyday life from my parents, that's what inspired me to take up leadership. And when I saw that this opportunity came about, I just thought, why not? Yeah. Why not give it a go?
Beautiful. How did you find out about the Youth MP opportunity, and what's that whole process like of applying, and how does one become a Youth MP?
Well, for me, I was a part of my school's debate club, and that's how I found out about the Youth Parliament opportunity, because they were posting about it on their social media page. And I went and visited my debate teacher, and I just said, I'm interested, can I put my name forward? And he said, yeah. And what I had to do was I had to send an email to Le Maunga, to my local MP, just basically explaining who I am and my story and why am I interested and what issues do I want to focus on. And yeah, that's how I got into it, just through debates and through school.
I just want to note for all our listeners and those who are tuning in, Ilinea Fiafi, Marques is part of a very well-established debating team from De La Salle. Last year, he was part of the team that participated at the county's Manukau Regional Schools Debating Championships, where they were runner-up in that competition last year. Marques was also awarded the Most Promising Speaker award at last year's debating championships. This year, they took it out. De La Salle took it out. So what a legacy to be part of Malo Lava, Alo Sunga Marques. What is it about debating? Obviously, we hear you're into you've always been intrigued and interested in politics, but tell us about navigating that debating space, because it can be quite intimidating, especially when you come up against other debaters, strong vocal people. What's that like?
Well, for me, it was fun because I love public speaking.
Yeah.
I just love, getting up in front of an audience. It is daunting, and I do get nervous, but, as soon as I hit the floor and I just start talking and words that come out of my mouth, I'm just like in my element.
Yeah.
So, the whole experience about debate it's an exchange of arguments and ideas. And basically, to win the debate, you have to have the best argument, the best ideas. And to me, that's what I loved about it, just the competitiveness of your words and just how it can get heated. It can get heated, definitely, but instead of throwing hands or throwing chairs, we're throwing words and insults and rebuttals at each other.
Play the oratory game.
And it's just fun. And it's good competition. There's no sort of malice between you and the other debaters. You all know that this is just an intellectual conversation between two groups, and you just have fun. You just go up and you talk for 5 minutes and you make your case, and then you sit down and what's what.
And it helps when you sound like Morgan Freeman.
Like
you tell him, that's a bad voice, brother. You got there, bro. It must really help. What is the, coming into this role now, what does it mean to you, being the Mangere Youth MP for 2025? What does it mean for you, and what do you hope to bring to the role?
This means everything to me, because I said it last night. Mangere is the land of opportunity. It's the land of milk and honey. When my grandparents came here in the 1980s from Samoa, and they settled here in Mangere, this is where they built their life. And this is where they saw their future, and here in Mangere. And, Mangere's given so much to me, and it's my turn to return the favour. So that's what it means to me. This is an opportunity for me to give back to the community that has given me so much. So that, for me, that's what I feel.
Beautiful. What are some of the key issues, or the challenges that you feel young people in Mangere are facing today, and how do you hope to address them through this role?
So last night I built my case on education. Education, it's a field that we sort of lack in Mangere, especially within our NCA. So our level 1, 2 and 3 average NCA pass rates are lower than that of New Zealand and Auckland. And, that's not good enough for our Mangere community. We need to really strive to be better and to achieve higher, because, education, that's what builds the future. Education is what feeds our stomachs. It's what puts clothes on our back. Our parents, they tell us, Failumea onga, my grandfather used to say, Fakumu mo lo fai ai, fill your brain first.
Absolutely.
And, our parents, they prioritize our education. They always tell us, do your schoolwork, put your school first. And that's because they know that education is the key to success. And in Mangere, we sort of lack in that area. So for me, what I want to do in this position is to better our education system here in Mangere. And look, I'm only in this position for 4 months, and that's not enough time for me to do what I want to do. But in these 4 months, I will advocate and I will make it aware, the issues that we are facing as pertaining to our education. And also other stuff such as the free lunches, you know, just the quality of the lunches that we're getting. A lot of our kids here in Mangere, they go without. You know, they don't have lunches, they don't have food to eat at home, so they rely on that free lunch at school to fill their stomachs, and the quality of food we're getting is not it.
Yeah. As a side to that, tell us about your experience with that, like at De La Salle. What's the free lunches situation been like at De La Salle?
So, you know, the free lunches we used to get were nice, big portions.
Yeah.
They were nice. They were warm.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we get spaghetti, pasta dishes.
Proper fuel for the mind. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now we're getting, you know, these cold sandwiches or these, just these like small portion, you know, foods that are just. They don't taste good.
And
like, you know, we're islanders, we're big, you know, we need that fuel to...
We need the fuel, man.
You know, to do our schoolwork and to play our sports and to just function throughout the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, the free lunches that we're getting are just not it.
Yeah. You spoke about the role being a 4-month position, or, you know, you'll be serving over a period of 4 months. Talk us through what happens as a youth MP. What happens now that you've got the role? What's next in the process? Like, are there various meetings or commitments that you have to attend to during your time? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so throughout these 4 months, youth MPs will shadow their local MP.
Cool.
So I have the opportunity to go along with Le Maunga to like certain events and just sort of be her right-hand man, you
Beautiful.
know.
Nice.
Also in July, we get to go down to Parliament for 2 days, and we get to go down and debate in the chamber.
Flex those debating skills.
Exactly.
Put it to work.
Get to make our case, and we get to represent our electorate. It's a lot of meetings with our local MP, and also the other candidates that were with me last night. Shout out to them. Manoia and Kadao and Malua, and to the other candidates. We, even though they didn't get that position, we still form like a sort of a youth panel council.
Cool.
And we get to work together to, you know, deal with the issues that are facing our youth here in Mangere.
Beautiful. That's awesome. So even though they're not, they weren't, you know, fortunate to be be given the role, they're still part of the work and the mahi that goes on behind Malo Whawhatai. I wanted to ask about, you know, being in a leadership role at this age for many can be quite difficult at times. Like, obviously it has its highlights and it's good times, but sometimes there can be challenges. Over the years, as you've grown, you know, through high school and moving into these roles and in these spaces, what's been some of the challenges for you, you know, working in the leadership space?
For me, it's one of the challenges is consistency. Just sort of being able to give your all day in, day out. You know, because, you know, I'll be honest, you know, I'm only human, you know, I can only give so much. And just some days, you know, you have your off days,
of course,
you know. But being in these leadership positions, you can't really afford to sort of like fall behind. And you know, that's the problem for me. And last night I was the youngest of the candidates.
Wow.
And all the other candidates, you know, they had like head boy, head girl positions. You know, they were part of committees, and they have had other leadership experiences and opportunities that I didn't get, that I haven't had. And you know, I just thought like, man, I'm out of my league or something. But you know, to win this means that I prove something. Absolutely. And that I have something to prove. So I'll take that with me, and you know, on those off days or on those days that I feel like, you know, I just can't do this, I'll just remember that, you know, that I achieved something that realistically was out of my reach.
What do you do for, you know, when you do have those off days? I totally understand what you mean. Also, there are some days, there are days where you just want to be in bed and just chill. What do you do for self-care? You know, when when you're trying to navigate those tough times, and how are you engaging in self-care and making time for you?
Well, look, I'm a big music lover.
Beautiful.
And I love like our Samoa music.
Yo.
Just listening to it, and like even the fob songs.
Yo.
You know, like Nifoloa and RSA band
You
and
can't
all
go
that.
wrong,
Yeah,
you can't go wrong.
just listen to one of those tracks and start to feel good again.
Awesome.
Just sort of remember where I've been, and just remember the other stuff that I've been through, and just to keep encouraging. And it doesn't hurt to pray.
Word.
Word. I'll be honest with you, I don't pray as much as I wish I did, but there are those moments where you've just hit rock bottom so hard that you have nothing left but to turn to God.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me through sometimes.
Yeah. You've already alluded to the fact that your grandparents and your parents are huge role models for you, and as leaders in your upbringing. Who are some other leaders, whether it be in your community or your school or beyond, who inspire you or have motivated you to where you are today?
Yeah, I just want to quickly shout out my uncle, Salle Tominiko.
Yeah.
Guys, go check out Talua Digital and follow their social media page.
That's cool.
They do great stuff for the community, great promotion, and he's just one of my personal heroes, just like how he's doing his stuff day in, day out. Like he's posts about all different communities and that, but just a quick shout out to him. As for like heroes throughout history that I look at, I just want to quickly mention David Lange.
Yes.
So David Lange is one of our former prime ministers, and he hailed from Mangere, and it's such a privilege for an electorate to say that they've had a prime minister. He did a lot of work for our community, and he did a lot of work for our Pasifika people. He was one of the legal aids to the Polynesian Panthers during the Dawn raids. Also, just have not far from here is that mural of Efeso Collins.
Right.
Man, that guy, he really cared for our community. Like, just one of our local and I'd say national heroes. Right. Definitely. Also, just my elders. Like I said, my parents, my grandparents, especially my nana, both my nanas, they are our family matriarchs, and they lead by example, and they show that they are the head of our family and that, and just those local heroes and heroes to history. Those are the people who I look up to. Yeah.
Awesome, man. What are your plans for the future? Where would you like to be in the next 5-10 years, whether that be in terms of career or university studies? What does that look like for you? What's the long-term plan?
Oh, well, this may come as a shock, but I actually want to be a member of parliament.
No way! Oh my God, that's awesome, man.
Just giving back to my community any way I can, and for me, and my gifts, my talents in speaking, I feel like a member of parliament is the way to go.
Yes.
I want to go to university, and that I just believe that higher education is very beneficial, but also university is not the only pathway after high school. Let's not always keep saying, oh yeah, you need to go to university. Do whatever feels right to you, but for me personally, I want to go to university and into politics and just give back to my community in the best way that I can.
Mahalo whawhtai. As we kind of wrap up our talanoa this evening, for any young people who are listening in, what advice would you give to them? For young people who want to step up and make the difference in their communities, and maybe one day become a youth MP for their electorate. What's some key words of advice, or
honestly, just chase your dreams, Like, don't feel like you can't achieve what you want to achieve, because to be honest, that's how I felt last night. I was the youngest of all these candidates. I had the least qualification, but I still made it. So to all the young people who want to become youth MPs or who want to give back to the community or who want to do whatever. Don't doubt yourself, because, us Pacific people, we don't get given that many chances in life. So when you get given an opportunity, take it.
Go for it.
And don't look back. Just take it and run with it. And if you go with it, you'll find that you'll make it,
Yeah.
Just don't doubt yourself, don't give up, and chase your dreams. Believe in yourself,
Malo whawhatai. Any final shout-outs? Any alofa angas you want to make to family and friends before we wrap up, Uso?
There's so many people, but I think I'll just do a quick personal shout-out to my parents, Salle Tominiko, my dad and my mom, Marques, just probably two of the biggest inspirations in my life. They've taught me everything, and they've raised me into the young man that I am. I guess shout out to my local football club, Poptoto Wildcats.
Let's go.
Yeah, we won our championship last year.
Yes.
So shout out to them.
Yes.
Shout out to Salle College, Valukasi, 81. Just so proud of the school, man. So proud of the brotherhood. And 685 to the world, shout out to Samoa, my beloved Samoa Matalashi. So yeah,
beautiful.
Really,
hey, look, you're a fine young man, a remarkable young leader, and we wish you all the best also.
Thank you.
Manuia le sauni atu, mesel tape natu mo le whamoe for Youth Parliament and your role as the Mangere Youth MP. I have no doubt we will meet again and we will hear more from you. But for now, from the PMN Samoa team, we wish you the best also.
Thank you so
much. With everything that you have, with your schooling.
Thank you so much.
Whatever God has planned for you, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And that is our humble chat segment. Thank you to Mum and Uncle Stephen for joining us in studio today. Thank you for your support. Malori tapuai, malori whaitama. As we wrap up our humble chats for this afternoon, we wrap up with a song. Yeah, on every request, lava le sunga for interview. Le uso ya Marques Tominiko. Signing out with a bit of Aso Tofi here on the 685 show. Thank you again, Uso. God bless and Imanuia.